I had a call with a private coaching client the other day, and she had no libido. We'd been here before, we worked together for years, and she was back at a point with no desire. One thing that I had to impress upon her: you do not need to want sex to start wanting sex. And that's the part that no one is talking to us high achieving women about how to optimize. And it keeps us stuck and it keeps us having less sex. I say this all the time. Your desire isn't broken, it's buried. When we are running businesses, managing homes, single parenting, managing everyone else's emotions, our nervous system doesn't have the bandwidth for pleasure. Our pleasure centers are turned off. This isn't a willpower problem. This is a biology reality. And there are specific things that you can do to shift it. Talked about the dual control model. Our sexual response has an accelerator. Things that turn us on, like being told how good I look, and brakes. Things that suppress it, like not doing what you say you're going to do. Most women who are in burnout, we have our brakes pressed 24/7. Okay, and the goal is not just adding accelerators. It's not just adding turn-ons. This is what everyone tries to do. We have to identify what the brakes are first. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 ways to increase desire when you have none. This is what I shared with my private client. I'm Dr. Jordan Wiggins, naturopathic doctor, author, pleasure and intimacy strategist. And here on the Pleasure Principles podcast, we're healing together. We're talking about the stuff that people are too scared to say, the truths that might sting a little, but they land. And it's going to get you closer to the fulfilling, connected relationship and life that you want. 5 ways to increase desire. Number 1, remove a brake before we add an accelerator. Desire cannot come online when we are in survival mode, putting out fire mode. So before we try anything else, we have to identify the single biggest break in our life right now. Okay, for most of my clients, this is childcare, unsupported mental or relational load, no downtime. Okay, we know research shows that men have like 8 more hours of downtime a week than we had. If I had 8 extra hours a week to pamper myself, do you know how turned on I would be? It would be a feral situation, and as it would be for most women. And that's the thing that most men don't understand, that by creating a structured plan to offload some of the stress, even partially, consistently, we're not just saying, I'll wash the dishes tonight because I want sex. That's fucking manipulation, and it's gross, and her pussy sees right through it. Okay, we cannot pleasure our way through an e-break. Okay, we need to generally offload some things before we start. Number 2, and this is an interesting one, we need to start with some alone time, not even sex. Going out alone, sitting at a cafe with a coffee, shopping, whatever returns you to yourself as a person. Okay, not as a mother, not as a partner, not as a surgeon or an accountant. This is not a luxury, this is a prerequisite. And when I start working with private clients and I'm asking them what their desires are usually rest or to be alone and not needed. That is how overstimulated they are. They're taking that extra time in their car before they're going in their house because they're just like, they can't handle it. They want to be alone. So when you've been a full-on CEO in your marriage, or pretzeling yourself, people-pleasing, walking on eggshells to not upset your partner that will never take accountability, you've lost access to the part of you that feels and the part of you that can connect to you. So regular time alone is a necessity. Find a way to start scheduling it in. Schedule it in your workday if you have an unsupportive partner that will not help you with children or tasks afterward. And it's okay to start there. Like, women feel so broken when they're like, I don't want to be touched. I just want to be alone. We need to honor that desire. I promise you the turn on will come back. It's there. Number 3, use a 15-minute timer. I personally think it should be 25, but we'll go easy on your fried nervous system. I want everyone to remember we do not have to be turned on to begin. If we are a burnt out, overgiving, people pleasing superwoman with an empty pleasure tank waiting for turn on, we're going to be waiting forever. Okay, that train's not coming. We are in our responsive desire state, and that's normal. It's okay. Okay, it's backwards for us to assume that in our day with patriarchy, with cis hetero relationships, that spontaneous desire is a thing for a perimenopausal woman. I am an exception to the rule. I have always had spontaneous desire, except in my abusive relationship. And now that I don't know if I would say I'm perimenopausal, but like there's definitely some hormonal shifts. When I am ovulating, look out. So most women will have responsive desire. It's showing up after relaxation, after the alone time, after some stimulation, after a context that is relaxed and sexual, not before. So what I want you to do is set a timer for 15 minutes. Ask your partner for something, a massage, oral, physical contact, to read to you. Reading to me is a love language, okay? But we're asking for whatever you'd want in that moment, and that is your work to do. And we are not committing to more here. We are setting the boundary up front, okay? This is to turn on my pleasure centers. That's it, okay? No expectation of sex, just 15 minutes of him doing something for you. Most men will be more than willing, okay? And if he's not and he throws a temper tantrum or does some emotional bullshit, no. No, no, no. There is no world in which this is negatively received or is a negotiation or some bullshit. Then we have coercion going on and power dynamics going on. Okay. And you could send me a DM about that. Okay. But start. Your desire's in there. It's just buried deep. And I do want to take a minute and say, if I am speaking directly to you with these episodes, you're recognizing yourself. You are not someone that falls apart easily. You hold things together. You always have. And you've been so focused on overgiving. That's exactly why no one, including you, has taken seriously how much living like this is costing you. Okay, the sleep that's not restoring you, the relationships that are one-sided, the body that you have been neglecting or your health is breaking down. But there's a version of you that you can feel underneath it all, waiting, knowing there's more, knowing there's a better way. You've probably done some version of work before, therapy, listening to podcasts, courses, and it helps to a degree. But you're still here, still carrying the majority of the weight. Okay, and it's not a failure. It's what makes you so brilliant and so successful. But it's a signal that what you've tried hasn't addressed at the level that this actually lives, at the level that this needs to heal. Your body, your nervous system, your hormones, the patterns that you learned before you even had words for them. There's 2 ways to work with me, privately or in a group. The level of work that we do, the curriculum in the group, or the precise, individualized coaching where we go directly to what's keeping you stuck. And we do it in a way that's giving you back more energy and desire than it asks of you. Because this work is built around pleasure as a mechanism of healing, not willpower, not more discipline, not another thing to manage. So if you are at the point that something needs to change and you know it, I want you to head to the show notes and apply to work with me. The application will take 10 minutes. I will read it personally. We're going to get on a call and determine if working with me privately or in a group is the best fit for you. The application is linked in the show notes. You're going to reflect on what's going on, what it's costing you, and what you want your life to look like. Because as we walk you down the steps of the pleasure path, I've helped thousands of women make that a reality. Okay, our fourth tip to regain desire when you have no desire is feed your brain things that it recognizes as desire. These are our accelerators, and you'll see that this is number 4. Okay, so these are in order of things that you should be doing. But we're only working on the accelerator after we've done these other things. Erotic fiction, audio erotica, romance novels, shows with good male characters, hello off campus, hello heated rivalry, shows with men written by women and sexual tension and yearning. Sign me up any damn day. Okay, you want my pleasure pulse to go from a 2 to a 10? Give me a man written by a woman. Give me a little yearning. Give me a little college romance. And don't pretend you're above the Hallmark movie bullshit. It tickles that part of our brain that we were incepted with as children, like the Disney shit. Okay, it's neurologic patterning and the, growing up with the OC and One Tree Hill and Sex and the City, which is much more toxic relationships. There's so many more healthy relationship models and sex and consent. I could go on and on. If our desire's gone quiet, we might need to remind ourselves what it sounds like, what it looks like. Notice what it stirs. Sometimes it's even it's a tingle. Sometimes we can do pleasure research with these things, like listen to 3 audio eroticas and see which one turns you on most. Have more of that. Number 5, one of my favorites. Skin on skin contact without the expectation of sex. Naked cuddling, or just cuddling, but being held. Skin contact releases oxytocin, connection hormones, which is going to turn on the pleasure centers in your brain. And I love this one because I confuse the shit out of people. It's like, can you hold me naked? But with a 100 almost always % chance of sex. But if you're not there yet, it's okay. And I've got the dude looking at me like, but you told me not to fuck you. What do I do? Do you want me to? Do you not want me to? This is what matters. Setting the expectation. Okay, setting the expectation before you get in bed. When you're a little more skilled, a little more well-versed at these things, you can cuddle, and if he tries to poke you with his erection and you don't want it to go any further, you can say, like, down, boy, not tonight. And if he throws a tantrum or is cold to you, you know that his feelings are not your responsibility. Okay, and I also, in pleasure-centered relationships, we are not acting like that. We're fixing that shit. Back to setting the expectations. I want to feel close to you. I don't really feel like penetration tonight, but I really want to feel connected. Okay? If he gets an erection during this, that is fine. He can take care of that himself. It's not necessarily our responsibility. Our job is figuring out what our needs are and clearly asking for them so they can be met. Good men, right? Men, not boys, will meet these needs. Okay. And we're not playing fucking games either, right? We are learning what our desires are and learning how to communicate them clearly. This makes it clear for the good men to be able to meet our needs. So your job is filling your own pleasure tank incrementally, consistently. We need to work on our boundaries so we're not overgiving. We need to have a yes. We need to have a no. And really working on turning on those pleasure centers in our brain. It is doable. Please, please, please do not wait for spontaneous desire to strike. Okay, and if you are a spontaneous desire girly like myself and you lose that spontaneous desire, that is a sign. That is a sign that there is an issue, okay? And I do have to say this because I would not have said this in my earlier work, but we cannot access desire in a relationship where we do not feel safe. And this is the part that most sex education, intimacy coaching, therapy skips entirely. Our body is not designed to open into pleasure when we feel like we're under threat. Okay? And coercive control, power dynamics in male-female relationships, it's not violence. It often looks like a relationship where we are always blamed, where we're the difficult one, where we can never do anything right, and we have a partner that is under-functioning and doesn't take accountability. Okay, we feel like we're walking on eggshells, but we can't name why. Signs that you do not have safety in your relationship. Can you clearly communicate a yes or a no without being punished? When you raise a concern, does it get turned back on you? Do you end up apologizing for bringing it up? Do you stop sharing things because you know that they will not land safely? Do you avoid initiating physical contact because you're not sure where it will lead? And you don't feel like you can say no without a consequence, without a tantrum, without anger, without the silent treatment? Are your needs minimized or dismissed? Do you feel more desired for what you are, what you bring to the table? You're the higher income earner, the mother, the manager of everything, like than being loved and desired for you and who you are. Are decisions in your relationship made unilaterally and then presented to you like a done deal? These could be finances, things about your house, big decisions for your kids. Do you feel responsible for regulating their emotions? You pick when to have conversations with them, or you hold things back, or you weigh your words, or you ask ChatGPT how to word it. These are all signs that you do not have safety in your relationship. Okay, we need safety in our relationship, and we need safety in ourselves. Okay, and safety in ourselves is knowing our own limits, knowing our desires, being able to name them. A safety in ourselves means we don't let people tell us we're crazy or dramatic or too much. We trust our intuition, we trust our desires, and maybe we were just asking the wrong person to fulfill them. So when we've been conditioned to doubt ourselves, when we are blamed that we are wrong, our desire goes away. Okay, that's not low libido, that's our bodies trying to keep us safe. Desire is not a light switch, not in long-term relationship. It's a temperature, and we can turn up the heat. But not when we are holding everything together for everyone else with no room left to feel ourselves. Start small, remove one break, add one thing, tell your nervous system the truth. You are allowed to want things, and you deserve a relationship and sex that are safe. If this is speaking to you, if this episode spoke to you, and you want to get started on accelerating the healing, head to the show notes, fill out an application to work with me. Cannot wait to connect.